We picked up our brand new Consort Reef Campervan last week from Consort, which is based in Leeds. Sadly, it's a 4.5 hour drive or so for us. So we picked it up with a hire car. We planned to do a week away on the Yorkshire coast, so we could give it a good shakedown trip and unearth any problems that there might be. I'm just going to do a quick walk around the outside, show you what's where. It's fairly standard with most camper vans, so I'm sure it's nothing new to anybody. So we've got a gas van, as you can see from the sticker on the side, and we have got a 25 litre underslung gas tank, and this is the fill point for that. Electric hookup and water. And cassette, which I'm not going to open. I'm sure everyone knows what a cassette looks like. And this is the outlet for the heater. We chose diesel as our heater, so it's a combined diesel and electric. This is an additional upgrade for the Consort Reef. The standard offering is gas and electric. We didn't want gas because we want to do a reasonable amount of time off-grid. And if you're off-grid in the winter, gas heating just eats through your gas. It'll probably last you 3 or 4 days if you're lucky, and then you're left with trying to find a refill point. Underneath you can see we've got the wastewater and the freshwater evacuation taps, nicely labelled with good chunky turning mechanisms, none of this flimsy stuff. As is usual on a Peugeot Boxer, we've got barn doors at the back, and Stu, being Stu and well into his motorbikes, has already got a Motor Guzzi sticker on the back. He actually brought it with him when we collected the van so that he could stick it on the back window. We've got reversing camera up the top, and we also have sensors, reversing sensors on the back bumper. We've specified a little external gas barbecue point there. That again was an additional extra that you could specify, so it's not part of the standard package. It's one of the options that is offered. This particular van doesn't come with alloy wheels, but I'm sure we will be getting alloys at some point. We've just got the horrible cable tied on yucky things at the moment. But we do plan to change that. So, moving inside. Right, we've got a step here which comes as standard. It does retract automatically as soon as you turn the ignition on, so there is no danger of you driving off with your steps still out. This mat comes supplied, and the bin comes supplied as well. Just don't know if you can see up the top, we've got a Fiamma awning which we haven't tested out yet. Again, that doesn't come as standard, that's an additional option which is offered by Consort, but we thought it would be quite useful, not least for drying washing. So we wanted that. So I'm just going to move in and work my way round, I think. The option that we wanted was for 230 amp hour lithium battery. I think it comes standard with round about 105 amp hours lithium. So they fit lithium batteries as standard, none of the AGM now. They've moved straight to lithium. You can upgrade it to 230 amp hours, which is what we have done. There is also another option which you could have of an additional 230 amp hour battery, which would give you 460 in total. We felt that that was probably overkill for our needs because we've got gas cooking. So we've just gone with the 230, but obviously that is an option for the future if we find that we haven't got enough power. If you did have an additional battery, it would sit underneath here. But because we don't have the additional battery, we have this nice storage area which has just got the tie downs for the awning in it, and Stu's toolkit at the moment, and it looks like an extra extension lead should we need it. Talking about extension leads, we do have a plug socket here. This additional plug socket isn't standard, it's an additional option, but this we felt would be handy if we've got electrical equipment, laptops or whatever outside, we could just use that plug. This is the gas gauge underneath for the tank so that you can see what you've got and what you haven't got. And then you've got awning light. This switch here actually turns on your van, or it will activate the 12-volt system. You can see immediately what you've got in your freshwater tank and your waste tank. That comes up. Next button along is the water pump, and you've got a couple of lights. The cab? Oh, that's the cab. Yeah, and one's the outside light. Up the top here, we've got two tables. We've got a big table here, and if Stu can just get in there, we've got the littler table there. These sit above the cab area, and where the tables have got the metal bits for the pole to go into, there is a hole in here for that bit to fit into. So there's no danger of tables sliding anywhere while you're driving. They stay put. We don't hear a peep out of those. We've got the 90-litre fridge. There is an option to specify a bigger fridge on one of the different models, or I think you could have a Reef with a big fridge. There is flexibility there for the fridge size, but we felt 90 litres would be adequate, and also it's a good trade-off between the amount of power that's used. Obviously a bigger fridge, it's going to take more power. So that's the fridge. It's a fridge freezer, a little freezer compartment as well, which will be very useful in the summer. Got a little wardrobe area. You could specify this as a wardrobe with a rail across, but we wanted the shelving. So you can see it's quite a deep cupboard here. You can fit all sorts in here. And the electronics all live under here. I've got a picture of the electronics, which I'll pop up for you. We specified an inverter, so we have a 2000 watt inverter. And this is the button for turning the inverter on. We've got a diesel heating vent here. One of the things we really liked about the Consort was the fact that it had a front table space. So you could put the little table there. We did actually get an extra table leg. So we have the big table leg, which is supplied as standard, and that fits behind there. And it's very easy to access once you've got the driver's door open. We've also got a small table leg, which we purchased as extra, together with one of those plastic tripod things that you can stick on the bottom for using it outside. And the other table leg fits in the boot. They fitted that for us, but we felt it was nice to have the option of having the small table at the front. So if I want to lie in and Stu just wants to get up and have his drink, he can do that. You've got an extra flap here. It's a bit of a pinger, but it is very solid. It doesn't rattle at all in transit, and that it's very, very solid. You can use it for chopping up your veg or whatever else you want to do. Or indeed, if with both front seats swivel, if you've got your seats swiveled, you could use that as a drinks table, and you still have got room to get in and out. We tend to use it as last resort because it does block the door to some extent. As I say, it goes down with a ping, but it's solid and doesn't move. So standard Thetford triplex gas hob. There, two small burners and a big one, and we have got oven and grill there. We've got a beautiful big drawer here. I believe it does take a full-size cereal packet, but we don't eat cereal, so It's just the junk drawer at the moment. But it's a lovely big storage space. Working our way down the drawers, you've got some storage underneath the sink. You do have a gap here, so you need to be careful that you don't put any little things that might go and disappear down the gap. And the reason you've got the gap is because you've got electric sockets and USBs on the top. You can just pull it up. So you've got the switch there, so you can use those ones with the inverter, and obviously with the 12 volt turned on at the door, you can use these ones at the top, and that just pushes down like that. The kitchen roll holder is an additional extra. We've got an elastic band around the kitchen roll so it doesn't unravel while we're travelling, and they fitted that for us while we were up there for the handover. Not sure it belongs in the bottom drawer. You've got this lovely little sink arrangement here. This, as you can see, the actual draining board, when you're moving, doesn't move. There's no sliding about and rattling. It's got really good rubber things on the bottom. And I was quite shocked at that, because I said to Ryan, who is doing the handover for us, what do people tend to do with their draining boards? Where do they put it when they're travelling? And he said, just stays there, and looked at me like I was a complete idiot. So I find it absolutely amazing that that doesn't move around in transit. The cloth's underneath just in case the tap decides to drip. But you have this marvellous little pull down thing here. And the idea is that should you need to do washing up in your van, you just pop this over here. This is lipped, so it'll catch all the water from your dishes. Obviously you wouldn't have the cloth underneath, but you can just wash up in your bowl and then drain everything there. And when you're done, you just tip the water away and pop it back. This is quite useful for relaxing in the evening. If you just want to be sitting down and you don't want to put the big table up, you've got the little flip here. These are very handy. We've just got mats, paracetamol and ibuprofen for when Stu's had too much to drink the night before. Hand wash, which fits lovely in there. We've just got tissues here at the moment, but you can fit these small size standard washing up liquid bottles. They fit in there quite nicely as well. On to more drawers, I think. So back here, what we like is you get the cutlery tray comes with it. You've got 2 plugs, and you've got a space at the side for all your bigger and longer utensils. This is just a standard size spatula, and you can see it does fit in. So that's nice. What I particularly like about these drawers here is you've got space at the back to put either cling film or silver foil. So it's you're always trying to find space for that in a van, and you've got this lovely space here. And what we did find when we stopped to get a bottle of wine en route, and I thought, where the heck am I going to put that so that it doesn't rattle? A bottle of wine fits in there beautifully, but you do need to wedge it in with a bit of kitchen roll or something. So again, space for your plates, maybe your less used utensils or whatever at the side. We need to put proper nice fitting non-rattle stuff on the bottom of the drawers. This is just what we had that was already cut up from our VW. So this one here we'll use for pans. We're going to change our pan arrangements, I think, now that we've got more space. You can see I've got both kitchen roll and cling film in the bottom at the back here. Right, so I'll move on to the bathroom. So you've got bathroom light here. Right, so that's the bathroom. You've got a little space for your bits and pieces in your toiletries. You've got a shower curtain here. You've got a pull down sink, and the tap just swivels and you can use it, and that's that. And also you've got a lovely little cupboard here for putting all your bits and pieces in. You've got two nice guards here, so stuff's not going to just come and greet you as soon as you open the door. And one thing that we have found is that this is the standard width for fridges. So if you want to put in additional dividers so that your bottles don't do that in transit, you can do. And one thing we particularly liked was the fact you've got the vent up the top. There's so many bathrooms with no venting at all. And also you do have a diesel heating outlet at the bottom, and this room, once it's shut up and the diesel heating on, gets absolutely toasty. You've got the shower rail at the top here, which I suppose you could use to hang stuff on, but what we're planning to do is get a white one of these expanding rails and have it from the far end to the far end, and then we can use that to hang any wet coats or any stuff that we need to dry. And you've got your tap there, which is well out of the way. We haven't managed to knock it at all using the toilet or anything like that. So it's nicely to the side. So you're not likely to give yourself an inadvertent shower. And some nice hooks as well. One thing we particularly liked was the fact you've got very large hinges down the side of the bathroom door. So there's none of these two or three little bits of hinges that all happily come unscrewed and your doors drop and everything else. The telly is an optional extra, comes with the shelf already. It's got aerial thing on the roof, 12-volt socket there which you can use to charge stuff. Got your sofa, got some nice handy little pockets which you can use, and there's another pocket on the far side. The windows, I believe, are new for Consort this year. Nice profile to them, and you've got these catches here, and each catch locks individually, so you don't have to buy additional window locks as you would have had to do previously. The windows are great because they just open and stay put. However far out you want them, they just stay there. There's no sort of hooks or anything like that. Got lots of cupboards around the top. These go back quite far, as you can see there. Won't open every single cupboard. The ones around the side are sort of pretty similar to each other. In the back, we particularly like this one. I'll take these two boxes out. You can see in the far corner there, it does go right to the back. So there's no space wasted at all. These are little boxes we got out of IKEA, and amazingly enough, they fit in this cupboard exactly. So if you don't want all your stuff just in the cupboard and you want to separate it out, these little boxes are absolutely ideal. I was amazed when I saw that they all fitted bang on. One really lovely aspect of this van is the shelf here. You just put your cup of tea or whatever, your glass of wine, whatever you've got, and you just happily can sit there of a night time, lounging like a slob, watching the TV, and you've got your drink just there. So another aspect that we really like about the Consort van is the lighting that is in here. You've got so many lighting options. At the moment, we've just got the big main sort of runway lights on. All the lights are individually controlled. So for example, if I turn on the under pelmet light here, it doesn't turn on the one at the other side. There's an individual switch for that over the other side. In addition to that, you've got a little reading light up here should you want that, and you can angle it wherever you want to. And you've got another one of those over the far side, again individually controlled. And you've also got that light under there, again individually on and off. I'm not sure which one that is. Oh, that's the back light up here. Still learning what lights are where. Again individually controlled, and you've got another light under there. You've also got a light under the kitchen, so you've got a light which you can have when you're cooking, which is really great. Another thing that we really liked around the kitchen arrangement is the fact that the cooker itself is actually located door side. So many of the vans that we looked around had got the cooker here and the sink here. We don't want that arrangement, because any splatters, should you be forced to cook inside, are then going to be heading towards your sofa and your soft furnishings, and we just didn't want that. It makes so much more sense to have the cooker door where the door is. I can't understand why people would want to put it around the other way. It's clearly designed by a bloke. The other thing that we really liked is the situation of the fridge. The fridge, which you go to on a very regular basis. Just think how many times you make a cup of tea during the course of the day, and that the fridge is at head height. You can just open it up and get your bits out. None of this crawling around on the floor. Again, a lot of manufacturers, they've got their fridge down here and the cupboard up here. Why would you do that? It just, you know, it just defies belief. As I said, we've got diesel and electric heating in here. So the diesel point outlets, we've got one down here. We've got one here in the lounge. As I showed you earlier, we've got one in the bathroom, and there is also a diesel outlet in the boot, which I'll show you shortly. Which means your boot is heated, so that if you've got wet walking boots or anything like that, anything sort of damp dog tails or whatever that you don't want in the van with you, you've got some heat going in, and that keeps all your stuff nice and dry and stops it going mouldy. Also, heat rises, so the boot area where the heating outlet is behind here. There is no access into the boot from within the van. Hopefully that might be something Consort change in the future, but to be fair, we don't really miss it, I don't think. But the heat will rise up, and where you've got a gap here, you will get some warmth. I just want to talk about the back doors here, because so many manufacturers have either got a manky bit of plywood up there, what I call plastic wood, as your back door, or they've got a piece of material. It may even be insulated material with silver foil stuff on the back, but they've got a bunch of press studs down here, and your draft excluder is just press studded to it, so it's nothing more than a thick piece of material. This is actually plywood and carpet covered. So you've got a lovely, warm, cosy area to be sitting back against. It's finished to the same high quality as the rest of the van. You've got nothing that looks like the back of an ambulance, with all your sort of your door opening mechanisms on display up the top. It just looks lovely and cosy, and it feels really nice. The attention to detail, I think with this, with the sort of the cushions, if you want to sort of sit yourself in the corner and lean your head back. We've got the standard things like carbon monoxide alarm in here. Obviously that arrives already fitted. We've got the smoke alarm up the top, and there is a fire extinguisher behind the driver's seat. Here we've got the Victron battery monitor. So this tells us our percentage of charge, and if you cycle through it, it tells you like how many amp hours you've got left and all sorts of bits and pieces. This is the Truma control for the heating. I'll just pop that on. So just unlock the screen and you can see you've got room climate. So if I just press that, I can choose between just blowing air or heating. So I'm going to pick heating. So you can see you've just got a thermostat here. So at the moment it's telling me it's currently 16. I can set it to 20 and I can hear the diesels just come on. You've got a choice between diesel or electric, and on the electric you've got 900 watts or 1800 watts dependent on what your power supply is in. So you've got choices there. Not turning on. You've got hot water here. I won't turn the hot water on, but you've got 3 levels of heat. You've got low heat, you've got medium heat, and you've got hot heat. The idea being one's just going to be for sort of washing your hands, the next one up is going to be for doing your washing up, and the hot one is going to be if there's 2 of you having showers. I believe it's a 10-litre diesel tank, and the diesel heater's situated under here. I'm just going to take all the cushions off now. Oh Lord. Right, that's it. Just take this off. Whoop. That's it. Right, again you can see a very long set of hinges here, none of these silly farty little things that come unscrewed and get broken. So that lifts up, there's no struts or anything, but it lifts up fine. These are held on with magnets, so in order to release it you need to give it a bit of a tug, but it does mean that when you're going around the corner you've not got your bedding slides coming across. So that's the diesel heater under there. On this side here, again held in with magnets, you do have some storage, so you could, and again it's nicely boarded out for you so that your bits and pieces aren't going to be sliding off and heading over there to say hello to your heater. We haven't actually used that yet. We haven't needed to. So much space in this van, we don't know what to do with it. While I'm here with the cushions all over the place, I may as well show you how to actually make the bed. I'll put this one back. And the cushions are all very solid and a nice tight fit. So in order to make the bed, very simple. You've got metal bits here to actually receive the clip, so you're not damaging your wooden bits. They're not heavy, the plyboard is very light. So you've got that. You drop this fella here into that, and then this cushion here actually splits in two, and it's held together with Velcro, and that just pops in. Come on, go around the right way. That's it, nice and solid, and that just fits in there, and that's your bed. So you can put your duvets or whatever you want on top there. As you can see, it's a 2-minute makeup apart from the bedding, so it's really, really quick. Again, you've got Velcro on the bottom here, so it doesn't just rest on top. You can Velcro it on. Normally Stu that unmakes the bed in the morning. And that just goes back up there. Those slide back. And away you go. I'll show you where we keep all the bedding. That is under the seat here. I think we've still got some bedding in there actually. Take this off so you can get a good view. You can access it with the seat covers, with the cushion on, but it's easier if you take it off. Again, you've got a decent set of hinges at the back. That just sits up. So we have got 2 single Duvet mattress toppers which fit in their little bags. They're a bit of a, you have to be firm to put them in. There's not a lot of gap, but it does fit in perfectly. And in here we've got either duvet or pillows, and underneath again it's either duvet or pillows in here, and it absolutely fits in perfectly. There we go. And you've still got plenty of space here to actually put a big thick blanket, because I get cold during the night, so I like my thick blanket. So the back cushion here is in one piece. Again, nice tight fit. The leather trim here is an additional option. It comes as standard with just the fabric. Another thing that we liked about this van is the number of skylights it has. You've got this one here, which gives you a lovely amount of light into your rear lounge area. It's got the standard, you know, fly screens and blind covers. Well, one thing to point out, in this particular van, the blinds are round the right way. The blinds come up from the bottom. We have seen vans where the blinds come down from the top, which we don't want, because if you want to crack a bit of light in during the morning, if you're sat here having just sat up with your cup of tea and you're in the all together, anyone that's passing will be getting an eyeful. So no, you want the blinds in the morning to be coming down from the top, so that this bit is magnetised, so that all they're getting is a view of your head rather than anything else. I tend to forget about front cabs. Stu's into the driving and the van and that type of thing. I'm more into the fittings. We've got Remis blinds. Again, this is an additional option. They don't come as standard, but you can specify Remis blinds. Never had them before, don't know how much use we'll find them, but we thought we'd have them just in case. So this is the cab. We've got the, I think it's a 10-inch media screen, so it's got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay or whatever. We've got a pedal lock attached already on ours, and some form of a stop lock. The van is fitted with a tracker. Again, that's an option, but I believe most insurance companies with this cost of van insist on a tracker in order to actually insure you. Right, we'll go and have a little look at the boot. So the boot area is one of the things that we really liked about the Consort offering. Obviously, it's got the usual buttons, so you can press this so that the doors flap out, and you've got the door stops on there. With Consort, you've got this lovely deep boot area here, which goes right back. This is the outlet from the diesel, so you've got hot air coming out here if you've got diesel or electric heating on, so it's heating your boot. So any of your wet bits and pieces is getting a bit of a drying. There's plenty of room here in this boot. This is the extra table leg which we purchased. They fit it at the top for you, the idea being that you can reach over anything that's in the boot and pull it out. We are thinking of getting a couple of folding bikes, and we have tried Brompton in here and it fits absolutely beautifully. So we'll probably end up getting a couple of electric Bromptons, I think. We've also got at the top, we've got the shelf here, which I haven't seen any other vans do. So you've got additional storage. So that's the boot area. Obviously, everyone has got this hole cut out here so that you can remove the cushion and access the rear door should you need an additional escape route for whatever reason. I think that just about concludes the tour of the van. I've probably waffled on for quite some time,
time for a coffee,
as I do. But yeah, we really love it. We looked at an awful lot of vans before making our choice. This isn't a quick decision. We've been looking, I think, since we bought our VW in December, and I think we started looking at other vans in February. We knew pretty quickly that the VW was not going to be for us. Our Scottish trip was the sort of final, will it work or won't it? And it came down as a resounding it wasn't going to work for us. As I say, just to reiterate with this bit of door cover here, this is your draft excluder. It is wood. There's no flappy bits of material that are press studded on for saving money. I mean, I won't lie, Consort vans are expensive. They're a lot of money, but you get what you pay for. The other thing is you are dealing directly with the manufacturer. It's normally a big argument between, is it the manufacturer's problem or is it the dealer's problem? With Consort, you're just dealing with Consort and they will look after you. They've won customer service awards for a number of years running. And that's what we wanted. So yeah, good service and an absolutely fantastic product. Oh, what I haven't spoken about is what's on the roof. We did take some drone footage while we were up in Yorkshire. On the roof, we have got two 160 watt solar panels. It comes as standard, I think, with one 160 watt. So none of this 100 watt panel jobs that you get off other manufacturers. It's straight in for 160, and the additional panel is an option which you can have. So we've got the two 160 watt panels on the roof. Nothing else up there, is there, apart from the aerial? No. No, I think that's it. Right, I shall finally shut up now because I think Stu's after his cup of coffee. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you found this video useful. If you're considering getting a camper van, do give a good look at Consort, as we are extremely impressed with their product. And I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. We're a new channel, and the more subscribers the merrier, and it really helps the channel grow. Thank you.